and congratulations on downloading your copy of the Freedom Calculator. If we haven't met before, my name's Jodes and I'm the founder of The 7 Effect, where we specialise in helping working women quit their day job and turn what they love to do into a successful 6 or 7 figure business. Now, I've worked with women from all walks of life and even across all age brackets you can imagine, from early 20s all the way through to their 60s and 70s. And we focus on helping women truly transform the way they work and live by creating a life they're wildly in love with and building a business that sets them free. And everything we do with all of our clients begins right here with this very tool. So I'm so excited to share the Freedom Calculator with you. In this video, I'm literally going to run through a bit of a tutorial and give you an overview of how to make the most of it. And then at the end of the video, I'll also share with you a way that I can work with you one-on-one for 30 minutes, crunch your numbers and make sure that you are setting off on the right path, because sometimes feedback is really what we need. So before I do that, I just want to remind you that, or let you know, that right about now, an email is landing in your inbox. So for now, you can download the calculator from a button either that way or that way. And in the email that we've sent you, it'll be called Your Freedom Calculator is Here or something like that. You'll also find a button to download it. You'll find this video training in there, so it's all in one nice place for you. And we've also created a link to the same calculator as a Google form. So the button here will give you an Excel spreadsheet, but if you don't use Microsoft Office and you're really into the Google Sheets, I think it's a sheet, not a form, there'll be a link in your inbox for that as well. But without further ado, let's get started. So I want to share my screen with you and basically introduce you to the tool. So this is what it looks like, and there are 3 pages to it. In the first page, it's all about calculating your rates and unlocking your goals. In the second page, we look at some different high-value offers that you could build to scale your business faster. And then finally, on the third page, we unlock your unique fastest path to your goal income. And this is the area that you might like my feedback on. So I'll tell you about how to do that in a moment. But for now, let's look at page 1. Now, whenever I'm working with someone one-on-one, let's say you and I are sitting together, the very first question I ask a woman is, what is your goal income? What I find fascinating is a lot of women go, oh, I don't really know. Or they say, well, do you want me to say what I think I can earn and what I'd really love to earn? And so just this one question can unravel or reveal a whole heap of barriers that could be preventing you from succeeding in business. If you have money blocks, money issues, any funky, weird relationship with money that's got attracted to guilt or whatever it might be, then that's the place to start doing work on. And I think it's important to fall in love with crunching numbers in business. The reality is building a business is about making a profit so that you and your family can create a better lifestyle. That's nothing to feel guilty about. So let's get back into it, shall we? Let's say you are thinking, all right, and you'll see at the top there, that's my example of when I started the 7 Effect. Those were my goals. They're different now. But let's say I'm working with you and you say, Jodes, my ideal income is $150,000. I don't know if I've just put in, 1.5 million. Nothing wrong with that. That'd be good. But let's do 150,000. This is a pretty popular one. There's no right or wrong number here. You might say, well, gee, I'd just love a side gig where I can make 60 grand a year. The number is yours to choose. Permission to dream and challenge yourself, or keep it small and real, whatever suits you. If you feel like you're limiting yourself, then I do recommend that you spend some time around some people who are thinking bigger. Get a coach, have your partner challenge you. It's important to start thinking bigger in business. What you don't want to do is start thinking small, because you won't attract clients and it'll always be difficult to grow. Let's say your number's 150,000. And then the next thing we want to ask is, well, how many days a week do you want to be working? And so you might say, well, I love what I do, but I'd love Mondays off, so let's do 4 days a week. And then my next question to you is, well, how many months a year would you like to take off for holidays? A very popular one is 10 months working, 2 months off. But some people say, well, you know what? I'm happy with the regular 4 weeks off, which is 1 month off. So I'll work 11 months of the year. And so the calculator will tell you that, boom, you've got 176 working days out of your 365, which is not too bad. And the next thing, and the final question for this page, is how many hours are in your ideal working day? Now, you might say, well, 6 hours would be perfect for me. And then, boom, the calculator is going to tell you, and it's given us a very strange number there with lots of small decimal points. The calculator is going to tell you that your hourly rate, and I always bump it up a little bit, should never dip below $150,000. Now, on that, there's a couple of things I need to share with you. Number one, never ever charge by the hour. Instead, we use that $150 figure to calculate what the cost of your products and services need to be based on the effort of your time to set up those systems or to deliver that work. The other thing that's really great, a lot of our clients are coaches and consultants, is the calculator will tell you what your daily rate needs to be. So let's say you run leadership training workshops, which is what I used to do, and someone says, hey, I want you to come in and run a leadership workshop for my team. You now know that 852, let's bump it up to 900, maybe even 1,000, is your base rate. Based on your goals and where you want to head, you should never charge less than $900 for the day. Now, the going rate for a full one-day workshop here in South Australia can be anywhere from about $3,000 to $10,000. It depends on your reputation and the results that you deliver. So just so you know, $1,000 for a day is a very, very affordable, or I would say low cost, one-day workshop. And you've got to also buffer in then things like cost of materials if you've got workbooks and things like that to print. Now, I want to go back to this figure quickly before we move on to the next page. So the 150,000, which is just here, I often get the question, all right, do you want the number of how much I want to turn over or how much I want to pay myself? And it's a really good question. The answer is, how much do you want to pay yourself first? So let's say the number that you want to pay yourself is $70,000. Then the next question is, how much would your business need to turn over in order to pay you $70,000? Now, this is not a nitty-gritty financial analysis where we're going to get into the cents and the GST and the BAS and the tax and all of that. This is a high-level strategic, big-picture planning tool. So you want to think big numbers, and basically it's about finding your pinpoint on the map of the direction that we're starting to head. The other thing that's really good to know is if these are your numbers here, we now know that essentially we need to be hitting sales targets of around $3,500 a week or around $13,000 to $14,000 a month. So that goal means these sales targets every week and every month. Okay? All right, the next page, I'm going to run through it quite quickly, but I do want to just share with you, I might move my head out the way, we'll go and sit up here, what's in here, just so you understand, because we've got 7 different types of high value offers that we help clients build. So let's say you've got a product-based business, we would say, right, put together an ultimate bundle. Our philosophy is 6 figures a year, working part-time with 50 clients or less. Now, in order to do that, you really need a product that's a minimum of $2,000 or more. And so when we're working with coaches, consultants, and experts, that's very easy to achieve. But every now and then we get women in our community who are working with products that are small cost, like a $20 jar of ghee or a $40 jar of ghee or jewelry. And so what we say is we need to put together ultimate bundles, otherwise you're always working on volume. Now, there's nothing wrong with a business that's driven to work on volume, but it does mean that you need to become very good at marketing or invest in building incredibly good online sales systems that can generate sales while you sleep. Or you have excellent distribution channels, which one of our students, Lisa Ormanesi, is setting up, and her company is, of course, Ghee, OM Ghee. So there's always a way to get to your goal. I personally preference businesses built around services or knowledge, and my favorite is knowledge. I love to sell wisdom and ideas because once it's canned, then it can basically keep on selling and educating when you're not in the room. Just like what we're doing right now. I'm not sitting here with you, but I'm teaching you and you're learning from me. And who knows what I'm doing in this very moment. I could be walking on the beach. I could be doing anything. So, Ultimate Bundle, that's put together a package of all your goodies, and let's say you can build up an Ultimate Bundle of $1,500. The volume here, so over here you write what is the product or the service that I'm selling. How much am I selling it for is in the rate. Oh, I'll put my arrow here. Sorry, I'm doing it over there. What is the product or service? I call it the HVO, which stands for High Value Offer. What is the rate, as in the price that I sell it for? How many do we need to sell, and how often do we need to sell them? So let's say I have a business, I've created an Ultimate Bundle, I need 7 clients, 10 months of the year to buy it. Now, if I'm going by the numbers that we put before and I'm working 11 months of the year, I would put in 11. If I was doing an online business that works without me, I'd put in 12 months of the year because it's just operating without me having to do anything. So you will adjust all these numbers on the third page when we put yours in. The reason I've put this in here is I just wanted to show you that any one of these high value offers can scale to 7 figures, 6 figures. Well, they can also scale to 7 figures, but most of our clients, their number one goal is to replace their income, and many of the women that we work with are on a 6-figure income. So we go, right, let's just hit that target of getting your first 100 to 150K in your bank, and from there we tweak, we refine, and we can go up to multiple 6 figures and even 7 figures. We've got clients scaling to that as well, which is super exciting. But it's interesting. A lot of women, when they start with us, they don't imagine that they could ever make $10,000 a month in their own business. And now they're smashing out $20,000, $30,000 and even $50,000 months consistently. You'll be amazed what can happen when you start to put your focus on your numbers and becoming high value rather than doing lots of cheap stuff. The next one is a private coaching package. So these are all the different high-value offers that we teach our students how to build specifically. So I'm just putting them in there as examples because these are things we sell. These are things we know, how to get these rates, how to get these numbers. It's all based on what we teach in the Freedom Academy. So let's say you're doing a 3-month course and you're charging $3,000. You'd want 9 clients. If it's 3 months, you're probably doing 4 intakes, 1 a term, and you'd do 9 clients each term, and boom, you've got your 100K business. A 1-day workshop. Now, let's say you have just this signature 1-day workshop. You're charging $3,500 to go into an organization and deliver it to them. And all you'd need to do is 3 of those 10 months a year, and boom, you've got your 6-figure business. Let's say you design a group program where you take a group of people on a journey for 3 months, 6 months, 10 months, however long you want to. You take 20 students in it twice a year, and boom, there's a 120K business. A mastermind program. This is my favorite. This is the all-in type experience. Let's say you love to do a bit of coaching, a bit of teaching, a bit of bringing in guest experts and gurus and building communities that really go deep. And let's say you launched your mastermind at $5,000. Now, I want to tell you that the average mastermind sells for $20,000 to $50,000 a year. So if you launched a mastermind for $5,000, which is an absolute bargain, and you got just 20 students once a year, That's a 100K business right there. Can you imagine that? Just doing a really beautiful, unique, exclusive experience with a small group of people once a year, and boom, that's all you need to do. How gorgeous is that? Then there's the online program. So let's say you build a really cool online program so people can go through it self-paced. It might have a bit of live Q&A every now and then. You charge $2,000. You do one launch. You get 50 people in it once a year. Boom, there's your 100K business. And then finally, perhaps you've got a skill that could be outsourced to you from an organization, like maybe you're a consultant or a HR manager or a marketing expert or a Facebook ads manager or a operations manager, a CFO, whatever you might be. You could be on a retainer for $3,000 a month. All you need is 4 clients. They pay you the monthly retainer, 12 months of the year, and boom, you've got a $144,000 business. So I share this with you to get you to really see that building a business does not have to mean selling lots of stuff at a cheap price. And it's counterintuitive. In fact, when you start out, it's better to have one high value offer and really become famous for that rather than selling lots of cheap stuff, because it's very difficult to hit numbers like 6 figures and make profit on cheap, low value offers. So the final page is where you get to play. And so what you would do is you would type in here your idea for your product or service. So you might say, I want to do the Wake Up program. I'm just making stuff up here. And you might say it's going to be a 6-week program for women who want to wake up and live their best life. By the way, don't do that because it's the language is too generic. And you might say, all right, I want to charge $197. Now, a lot of people do this. And I go, okay, that's too cheap. It costs a lot of money to sell cheap stuff. Then you start to go, all right, if my goal is $150,000, and let's say I do that program 4 times a year, we go in here and we say, well, how many people would you need? Would it be 50? No. Would it be 100? No, you'd need to be getting 200 students a year, 4 times a year, not just 200 a year, 200 people 4 times a year with your $197 Wake Up program. Now, I don't know about you, but I find that quite challenging to do. So here's what I would rather do is do a Wake Up intensive where it's at least $990 for your first round. And it's not going to be, let's say you just take 20 people in there. This is what we do with our students. And you go, okay, let's do it once, $990, even just get 10 people in as a pilot program. There's your first 10K off the ground. Now, what happens is the beautiful thing is you'll get testimonials and people saying, oh my God, the Wake Up program was the best thing I ever did. Great. Now we can do another round of it and you can say, all right, this time I'm charging $1,290 and I found my feet. I'm going to get 20 people into it. Now there's another $25,000 in your bank and you're still learning, you're growing, but you haven't had to find hundreds of clients. And then you can get to a point where this Wake Up program becomes so renowned and refined that it's now $2,990 and you take 20 people through it 3 times a year and boom, there's your 6-figure business. So that's just one example how we can change our thinking and scale your business by not being cheap and low value, but being high value. The hot tip is never price by the hour, always be priced based on results. So I want to leave you with the 3 biggest mistakes that I see women making in their business. Number 1 is their pricing. So they usually have their prices too cheap, so they're underpricing and they're overservicing. Number 2 is their positioning. Rather than becoming the master go-to expert for one thing, they become the generalist or the jack of all trades. And then finally, number 3 is their product or program design. So they're trying to charge by the hour or sell lots of cheap stuff rather than bundling and packaging things up to give their clients the best of everything in one high value offer. So I hope this training and the Freedom Calculator is going to be your absolute best friend in business. I tell you what, it is transformational for so many of the women that we've worked with. If you would like my help, my feedback to unlock your own unique fastest path to your goal income, then become a member of the Startup Club. In the Startup Club, there are 4 different very in-depth foundational modules where I will teach you all of the things to do and how to actually present each of those 7 high-value offers. I talk about planning for profit, building offers that sell, creating copy that converts, and then taking you through the ultimate freedom map. You also, as a member of the Startup Club, get invited to all sorts of cool, exclusive VIP events and invites. You also get special behind-the-scenes offers and deals on our events and programs and retreats throughout the year. And you get a one-on-one with me. So I normally charge $1,500 for two hours to sit with someone and help them build their high-value offer. As a member of the Startup Club, which costs $50 a year, and it's amazing what you get. It's like $50. You can join for a year. You can leave after the first year if you don't love it. We also do live quarterly masterclasses in the Startup Club. But for that $50 a year, you will get your one-on-one with me. You will get the 4 quarterly live masterclasses where we'll work together and we'll teach stuff. You get access to all of the on-demand modules and all of the VIP behind-the-scenes exclusive deals. If you want that good stuff, click the button below, either in your email, if that's where you're watching this, or in the screen that's just here. Thanks again for joining the 7 Effect community, and enjoy crunching your numbers, creating a life that you're wildly in love with, and building a business that will ultimately set you free. I hope that one day we'll get to meet face to face and work together. Have a good day.